3 out of 4. That is how many citations behind China's biggest AI assistants, brand advice, came from the marketing ecosystem after we classified every single one of them by hand. Then we went looking for where that supply comes from, and we found a price list. $40 an article. Live within 24 hours. Stay to the end, and I will show you the number that makes us look worst, because we ran the same test on ourselves. This is what China's most used AI assistant actually cites when it tells a shopper which brand to trust. 10 seconds of method, then the evidence. 8 industries, 6 frozen questions each, 3 repeats, 144 runs at the API layer, plus 32 more reruns 6 and 24 hours later. Every citation the assistant returned 641 of them was classified one by one against a written coding book. 1 in 7 was double-coded, kappa 0.88. And every candidate news or official domain, 62 of them, went through a 4-part provenance review. Who owns it, what it publishes, whether space is resold, whether placement is commercially signed. Here is the result, and I am going to give you the denominator every time, because the denominator is the whole story. For brand recommendation questions, the which brand should I buy? Questions 73.0 to 75.5% of citations were confirmed. Marketing ecosystem source. Across every question type, in the same collection, the number is 51.3 to 54.5%. 2 different denominators. We never mix them, and neither should anyone quoting us. Why a range instead of one number? Because 20 citations never resolved. We report the best case and the worst case instead of quietly dropping them. The trust-shaped question pulls the most marketing-shaped evidence. That is the finding. So why does that supply exist? Because it is for sale in the open with a menu. A placement reseller lists advertorial placement on the channel type this assistant cites from 300 yuan, about $40 per article. Live within 24 hours. Claims search inclusion rate 85% or better. Those are the seller's own words on the seller's own public page, externally archived. To be exact about what we are and are not saying, we are not alleging that any specific article we saw cited was paid for. We are reporting that the channel type is openly on sale with a published price. Then we stopped testing like researchers and started asking like a customer. Category question. Then, is this brand any good? Then price. Then how to contact them. 4 chains, 27 citations. Official sources in those citations, 0. Complaint platforms, 0. One answer told us complaints about this brand were rare while citing 0 complaint platforms and while citing the brand's own website. A 4.95 out of 5 rating also showed up. It traces back to the brand's own advertorial network, 2 of 6 sources on the same network. That is network published marketing, not an independently verified score. That is the self-citation trap. When the assistant verifies a brand, the evidence it cites can be the brand's own marketing wearing a third-party costume. Boundaries, 1 breath. This is the API layer, 1 engine, July 2026, a frozen question bank. The follow-up chains and the price list probe are small samples and are labeled as such in the report. The consumer app is a separate surface that we measure separately. And we publish what fails. Our own pre-registered experiment came back all mixed, no causal license. One of our earlier pilot contrasts did not replicate, so we retired it. Both are in the report. Which brings me to the number I promised you. We asked the same assistant on its consumer web surface who we were, our own product, 5 times. It recognized us 0 times out of 5, once confusing us with an older product of the same name. We are measuring a game. We are also losing. That is exactly why we published the method instead of a scoreboard. The full report is open coding book, claim-by-claim evidence registry, raw tables, external archives, negative results included. geochecktool.com/research.